What's in your backpack? Chapter 2. In the computer game and film, Tomb Raider, Lara Croft's mission is to find some lost treasure as she travels through many challenging environments. Some exciting, some scary, and some dangerous. She also must figure out many puzzles, riddles, and conundrums along the way. She carries a backpack. Inside that backpack are some of the tools she will take on her journey, like an old and possibly misleading map that her dad left for her, a revolver, a compass, and a torch. As she travels through the mountains and caves, she finds some items, but she doesn't know what they are for yet, like a key, or bullets for a rifle that she doesn't have, or a medicine pack. She puts them in her backpack because she believes she will need them somewhere on her journey. These are the experiences we all have as we grow up. We learn things that we feel are of little immediate value to us. However, we may need them in the future. Of course, we have a choice as to what we put into our backpack, what we choose to learn or not learn, and what we pay attention to or not. Yes, we all like to make our own choices in life. However, let's see which ones we didn't get to make at the start, which ones were preloaded into our backpack before we even knew we had one. You didn't choose your parents, your siblings, your gender, your hair, eye and skin color, your height, your appearance, your nationality, your language, your religion, your social economic status, your early education, your intelligence, your natural abilities, or your likes and dislikes. Wow, that's a lot of things packed into your life's backpack before you had any say in the matter. I'm not suggesting that all these things are negative. Many of them are fine and good, and some of them are even necessary. However, at what point do you start to recognize and express your individuality? What is your individuality? Who are you, and why are you? Is your life journey simply chance, or do you have an inbuilt destiny potential? We all understand that an acorn has the potential to be an oak tree. That potential is built into the acorn. An oak tree is its destiny. However, if it is not planted into the right environment, it won't grow to fulfill its destiny. Are we any different to that? Do we have a potential inside us to be unique and to express that uniqueness to the world? Is that where we can find inner peace and fulfillment? Why do we feel the need to suppress it? Let's start with a story. It's about a mother walking through a supermarket with a shopping trolley. She has her young son in the seat at the front of the trolley. However, he won't stay in the seat, and despite her command for him to sit down, he continually climbs from his seat and stands up. In her frustration, she shouts at him, "Just sit down!" The boy sheepishly sits into the seat and, looking up at his mother, says to himself, "I might be sitting down on the outside, but I'm still standing up on the inside." We have all experienced that frustration when our parents, siblings, teachers, or society in general restrict us from doing what we want to do. Yes, some of that is for our own safety and well-being, but some of it is to train us to follow the accepted way that things are done, the rules and traditions that our family follow. We feel on the inside that it hampers our unique expression. We are told, "If you do that, nobody will like you. You embarrass me when you act like that. You will never get ahead in life if you don't follow the rules. Why can't you just be like everyone else, or like your brother or sister? Why do you always want to do things your way?" These types of messages seep down into our subconscious, and we elevate the opinions of the environment above our own, as the main determinant of our strengths and weaknesses. This causes us to question our personal abilities, put them aside, and simply follow the crowd. We quickly learn that there are opinions that should not be shared, defects in appearance and behavior that should be hidden, and traits that are commonly considered negative. We also learn how to behave so we can merit social approval. So how do we know if our desire for social approval is typical or too desperate? How much of ourselves do we feel we need to hide? How often do we feel we cannot be honest and spontaneous? Do we feel that our loved ones would not accept us if they got to know us as we really are? What is it on the inside of us that wants to be different? Why don't we want to conform to the world around us? Why do we form different opinions and see the world differently? What could it be on the inside of us that wants to express itself? And how can we feel so different? When we have grown up in the same family and social environment as our siblings, and many of our friends, without a doubt we have different interests to others. We like different music, sports, colors, choice of clothes, cars, holidays, friends, school subjects, career choices, partner choices, religious beliefs, and political viewpoints. Some are gifted to work with their hands, others have keen abilities for details, others the gift of entertainment, others a desire to help the less fortunate, and others for business leadership. There must be something unique inside us that is looking to express itself. Why is it there, and what is the purpose for it? Could it be that we all have a unique potential for a specific destiny, a someone we are meant to be, a something that we were made to do, something that would allow us to feel joyful and fulfilled? You know when you are in that flow of doing something you love to do, that you feel energized, loving every minute, and time passes quickly. You have a satisfaction that you are not only doing something you love, but that you are good at it, and are acknowledged and appreciated by others. Imagine having that feeling every day, jumping out of bed each morning with a feeling of, I can't wait to get this day going. Wow, how good would that be? Imagine the confidence it would give you, knowing that you are the right person in the right place, doing what you love to do. So, how big is the gap between that feeling and where you currently are? As we go through each day of our lives, we should be learning new things and experiencing new feelings. However, for many of us, our daily routine doesn't look like that. Most of the time we are on autopilot. On average, we do around 90% of the same things that we did yesterday. It's like Groundhog Day. We imagine a different life for ourselves, but we continue to do the same things every day. What goes on in your imagination about yourself is either based on who other people say you are and you believe them, or who you say you are, your true unique self, and you believe that. You are either living the life you want to live, or you're living the life that someone else wants you to live. You are either fulfilling someone else's expectations of who you should be, or you are living your own expectations. Life ought to be a journey of becoming who we really can be and should be. But is that chance or destiny? What part does free will play? What are the decisions we make along the way based on? What or whose experience of life are we following? What masks do we wear to be acceptable to others, to get us through the different environments that we travel through, like family, relationships, work, and social? Do things happen because they are meant to happen, or is it chance? There are many factors that govern and define our perception of who we are, what lies ahead, and what our destination might look like. Are our choices and decisions in life based on our experience of life so far? What's in our backpack? Is it what our inner authentic self wants? Or is it based on who we believe we need to be in order to gain approval from those around us? Is there an ongoing battle inside us trying to find the right path to satisfy our inner desires and our social masks at the same time? Are there two versions of us living in one body? How can we tell if we are being authentic to our beliefs, values, and life goals? How can we recognize and discover our real selves? And what does it mean to be authentic to it? Your purpose is your inner self, or what we will call your I. That is the real you on the inside, the part the world seldom, if ever, sees. That is the voice in your head that emanates from your gut and encourages you to follow your heart, believe in yourself, and acknowledge your passions and talents. Your identity is your self-image, or what we will call your me. That is the part of you that you show to the world, your social face, your masks. That is the part of you that craves acceptance and acknowledgement. The part that you adjust to the whims of the world in order to fit in. That part can be at odds with your values and beliefs, and as a result, cause you to experience stress and even depression. It can cause you to behave in ways that rob your inner peace. It can subordinate your capabilities because they are subjected to your acknowledgement of them and your faith in them. If you don't believe you can do something, then you won't even try. The environments you spend time in is critical for your growth, development, and inner peace. We are programmed from our birth through the environment and social structures we are born into, and some of those programs may not be beneficial for us as we look to become the unique individual that we are searching for. Identifying and examining their value to us is a good place to start. It takes time and fortitude to strip back your life and peer inside when you're not sure what you'll find. However, it is worth any effort it takes to finally discover the real, unique you, and your reward will be a strength and inner peace that is beyond measure. Our preloaded backpack contains our family traditions, national attitudes, social rules and etiquette, and the many beliefs we have grown up with. Those beliefs include our attitudes towards love, money, success, religion, health, friendships, self-respect, acceptance, pride, approval, belonging, life goals, and expectations. How can we go through living our lives and still struggle to know ourselves? The answer to the question is simply this: the masks we have grown accustomed to wearing. In order to deal with the conflict and discrepancy between our inner eye and the world, we wear masks to hide ourselves and cover up the problem. What do these masks look like and why do we wear them? When did we start to wear them? Are we aware of wearing them? Do we deliberately put them on, or is it more automatic? How many masks have we got? How easy is it to remove them? Do we want to remove them? Are we happy to hide behind them? Do we feel more confident when we wear them? Once you are defined as part of a group, for example, family, social group, work group, church, political group, sports group, etc., it is understood that you will abide by the code of that group and that you agree with their rules and protocols. It is likely that you became a part of those groups by the introduction and influence of your parents, friends, or family. When you get old enough to think your own thoughts and make your own decisions, you might have a different opinion on those group rules and etiquette. You are now faced with a dilemma. If you leave the group, you will walk away from your friends, and you will feel like a piece of your life is missing. You might even feel that you have let your family down. Sometimes it is easier to put on a mask of agreement and stay in a toxic group, even though you know you are not being true to yourself. Why do we do that, especially when we know that it is having a negative effect on our well-being? Is it simply habit, a comfort, or is it fear? A fear of stepping out from the crowd? You know that they will speak negatively about you when you've gone, and that disapproval scares you. However, we must recognize that we will never look for a better place to be if we accept where we already are. We all crave approval. From our very beginnings, we seek to be approved by those around us. It makes us feel good and gives us feedback that we are not just doing the right things, but doing them the right way too. That feedback is very important to our navigation through life, and it impacts our choice of where to live, who to keep company with, what we believe, our choice of partner, and even our choice of career. When do we stop making those masks to satisfy the demands of others? The older we get, the more masks we accumulate. Each mask is designed to hide a piece of ourselves that we believe will not be acceptable to those around us, in whatever environment we are in at that moment in time. Even when we are alone, we can still find it difficult to shut out the world, remove those masks, and consider who we really are. We want to uncover the I part of ourselves, the part of us that is unique, beautiful, powerful, worthy of living and love, the hidden treasure part of us that is longing for expression. We struggle to recognize our true identity. Does our name, our country, our community, our religion, or our social standing define us? We must first start with our inner identity, the I part of us. When you set out to find yourself, what are you looking for? How do you know what the I part of you looks like? What memories and attitudes are you taking on that journey? And can they be some kind of blindfold preventing you from seeing the real you? We know our deepest thoughts and dark desires, however, we only see them as images, impressions, or concepts. They present themselves to us as our moods and feelings. We generally find it difficult to put them into words, so we don't really have an understanding of their influence in our lives. The more we think about this, the more we realize how little we actually know about the reasons why we think the way we do, why we do the things we do, or the reasons for many of the choices we make in our lives. Then we wonder why we find ourselves in difficult situations. We simply cannot see beyond the choices we make that we don't understand. We make judgments on the limits of our capabilities, our education, our intelligence, our weaknesses and bad habits, our inability to truly love, and our fear of being unlovable. What a place to start an adventure from. Wherever you are, that's where you must start from. My friend Charlie Tremendous Jones used to tell me, happiness is an inside job. If you're not happy where you are, then you have no chance of being happy where you aren't. A key part of your mission is to recognize and edit the contents of your backpack regularly. Remove or replace the old outdated ideas and beliefs that you find there, the ones you have been living off. Your go-to autoresponders, the ones that you use for short-term, patchwork solutions, the ones that only make your backpack heavier to carry and add no value to your journey. Be encouraged. Every new piece of understanding is a step forward, and every step forward brings with it a new perspective. New perspectives bring new meaning to everything around you. A new meaning is a new beginning. However, because you are growing with each new revelation, the starting point for each new beginning is further along your road to discovery. Remember, what you are looking for is the real expression of who you are, the unique, beautiful, and wonderful you. The you that has the seeds of greatness on the inside, in potential form, waiting to be recognized, nourished, and expressed. The good news is this: it's looking for you too. Quote, being yourself means shedding all the layers of looking good, wanting to be liked, being scared to stand out, and trying to be who you think people want you to be. Jeff Moore.